Hey guys, welcome to a different kind of video on the channel. With the release of Strinova's global beta, I wanted to talk about some of the intermediate and relatively advanced movement mechanics that are possible within the game. Just some short background on the game. It's a 5v5 search and destroy demolition type shooter similar to Valorant and CSGO, but it has this mechanic called Strinova, which allows you to turn paper mode, glide, and you can dodge, as you'll see in these clips here. And there are some really interesting things you can do with this mechanic that are pretty much necessary to play the game at any kind of a high level. Now, there are some YouTubers already out there that have made basic guides on how to configure optimal keybinds and basic moves to play around Stringify mode, but what I wanted to talk about here is some potential combinations of the basic sidestep and glide and jump mechanics in the game that can allow you to really push everything to another level. Links to those videos in the description along with their channels. Please follow them. Super high quality content. Love those guys. They inspire me to play the game. Movement is everything in Strinova. It's the fundamental differentiator of the game over other FPS games in the genre, over other movement shooters. It's useful for every character, every playstyle, every weapon, and they all use it differently. But from my point of view, it's especially important if you want to be carrying games with your aim and your mechanics, getting kills, playing aggressively, and bailing yourself out. At the top level in this game, or even a moderate level, straight up aim duels are 50-50. Most people will be able to kill their opponent at roughly 50% of the time without additional outside factors. So setting yourself to win duels using your movement, your positioning, and your abilities becomes increasingly valuable. And I think movement is the single most important of all of those, because movement is used to escape, it's used to rotate, it's used to gain advantageous positions, maintain them, reposition. It's used in the middle of your fights, it's used to disengage, it's used in order to enable good grenade use, good ability use, it's used to push, peek. Literally every aspect of the game uses Stringify or the jump mechanics in some way. So I want to cover a few intermediate techniques. In Strinova, you have two jumps. You have an initial jump and a secondary air jump or double jump. And the unique thing about your double jump is that it changes your direction of movement. It allows you to pivot midair. So we're going to refer to this for the rest of the video as air pivot. And as you can see in these clips, you can shoot while you're air pivoting. The only issue is if you are just jumping and shooting and doing nothing else, your bullets will be very inaccurate. And so Karyu covers this in one of his earlier tips and tricks guides. Here, it's an intermediate technique like air pivot shoulder peek. To do this, you want to press jump plus your movement key, then ADS and shoot, then jump back, and then ADS and shoot while you're jumping back. While I was editing this, I also realized you must release shift before you jump back in the opposite direction, or you'll slow down. What this essentially allows you to do is get two very accurate bursts of bullets while you are pretty hard to hit for the enemy. However, I would say at the highest ranks, this is still a 50-50 duel if you're both aware of each other. You can use this around cover. You can jump out behind the cover, shoot, and be shooting and spraying your enemy while you're curving back around the cover. Now, this can be used in combination with Strinova's other basic mechanics. The second one that I want to talk about is peeking with your glide. Your glide is faster than your normal movement. And pretty much all the time when you're moving, unless you are reloading, sitting behind cover, looking with third person for enemies, or fighting an enemy. And sometimes you can even use glide mid-fight, which we're going to talk about. The concept is glide peeking. Peeking with a jump glide in paper mode. Now, if you're moving really quickly through the map, like let's say you're Ming entering for your team, you can use glide around corners that you haven't actually cleared yet. If you jump out high and glide around a corner, what this can do is bait out enemy shots. This allows you to gather info, and they'll oftentimes, especially in lower ranks, waste their bullets on you and allow you to land and then start fighting them while they have less bullets in their primary than you. The third important, and this is a more advanced intermediate mechanic, is butterflying. And I would say there's two versions of this, but it's essentially swapping between multiple versions of paper mode to hurtbox shift. If you don't know what a hurtbox is, it's the 3D space which your enemies, if they shoot at it, you'll take damage. So while you're on a wall, your hurtbox is 2D on the wall. While you're gliding, it's the 2D glider. While you're stringified standing, it's the sidestep, like flatness. And then while you're 3D, it's your character, obviously. So I would say the easiest way to look at butterfly is the wall butterfly. To do this, you jump and then glide and then stick and then repeat jump, glide, stick. So for me, that's space control E, space control E, space control E, space control. You can also add strafing and mouse movement to move your glider while you're off the wall to even further confuse your enemy. And this will allow you to climb walls fast and constantly shift your hurtbox. Now, against a really good enemy, this might not prevent them from lasering you to death. And unless you can break line of sight, it's not going to protect you from multiple angles shooting you at the same time. The key here is to get out of line of sight as quick as possible. Grounded butterfly or non-wall is essentially for when you're caught off guard in the open and you need to movement diff them. So you just jump around and spam glide and sidestep until you can return fire and get your kill, hopefully. This is a last resort option, and if you're doing this in the open with multiple people looking at you, you will just die. Now, that's pretty much it for the techniques I want to go over in this video. But what makes this game so special and the gameplay so beautiful, in my opinion, is that these all need to be used in conjunction with one another and with the situations you find yourself in order to produce results. So I think the best way to really learn these things by heart is to experiment. First, get down dodging bullets by just pressing your sidestep, gliding around corners to move faster, and then when you find yourselves in these situations, you need to take a fight, you glide peek, there's only one person, so you commit to a pivot duel, you double jump twice, you kill them, and it works. But maybe the next time that you glide around a corner, you try to take the same fight, but there's two people, and committing to using your 3D form, you die. Try again, and the next time that you glide peek into two people, you just jump glide back right around the corner, and everything works out. This kind of adaptation is the way that you're going to be able to use your movement to bring impact to your games. Staying alive in key situations, throwing off enemies' aim, isolating gunfights. These are the things that are going to bring you impact. Butterflying in the open in front of 3 people is going to get you killed, even if you mechanically execute it perfectly. So improvise, adapt, and then bring these to your ranked games. I think that's about enough yapping from me, but if you'd like to see another video like this in the future where I go in-depth into the different situations where combinations of movement could be useful, or look at new tech that comes up, or talk about abilities, builds, etc., leave a like, subscribe. Definitely also check out Karyu, Tuwanto, and other creators who are highlighting this game and bring it to attention. This is the best game that I've played in a very long time, and I super highly recommend it to anyone who might see this video. So yeah, like, subscribe, and play Strinova. Peace.